Welcome to the war. I hope everyone's having a wonderful summer. It's been a busy one for me, both in the hobby and outside the hobby. And I thought I'd bring just a regular update of everything I've got going on and a project that I'm excited to get started over the summer. But before I get into that, I'd be remiss not to show off my new table or my new terrain table setup. This now takes the size of the gaming space I've got for battles up to 8 feet wide by 6 foot in depth. So sorry, I guess 8 foot in length. By 8 by 6. There we go. Which is ideal for I think a lot of more maneuver kind of based games, particularly anything to do with Napoleonic period, which obviously I've been kind of fixated on of late. So this could really allow some change of formation and maneuver before the forces connect or collide together. But it's also going to allow me, I think, to just focus on some bigger games. And while I know the trend in the hobby is certainly to more skirmish games, my heart and soul is still firmly in the big battles, even if they're not truly historically accurate ones or recreations of famous battles. I still like that. So 2 points I would say about this table. One, I thought about making a tutorial, but then I realized I've really followed exactly the same kind of techniques as I have for all my other tables, and I think I've made videos for those in the past. So it's really nothing special or unique, other than the fact that I was incredibly surprised how quickly I put it all together. And here I'll zoom in on some of the things. So it's pink foam, painted, given some gravel and sand like you can see here. And then Woodland Scenics flocks, various kinds of textures. You can see my hills here. These are hills from my old table, so they still have a slightly different color. I don't hate it compared on this table, but I'm certainly going to be making some other hills that more closely match it. And obviously my trusty K&M trees aren't going anywhere, so they're going to stay as they are. And then the other real big highlight of the table that I'm incredibly excited and proud of is the edge around it, which is some reclaimed wood. I've forgotten what kind of wood it is, but it's giving it a nice border, and it's actually from a nearly 200-year-old church organ that a good friend of mine came across and was able to make the table edge for me here. So at some point I'm going to add curtains around the bottom, I think, hide all the clutter or the gaming clutter, because no one needs to see all this. But for now, I think it looks really great, and I'm incredibly happy with the way it's turned out, and I can play fully on the edge, not worried about dice rolling off or anything like that. It just looks really nice. So very excited even just to get a game on this. I don't know what game I'm going to put on it. I really thought about another Valor and Fortitude game, but I don't. I've not got new enough forces yet that I'm excited to put a new army on or something like that, or a new battle. But very happy with that. Anyway, so that's enough about the table. I'm going to take a breather here and get you ready to talk about my next project, my big project for the summer. Okay, the big reveal. So I'm going medieval again, and I'm going to explore creating some forces for the 100 Years' War. Now, I'm predominantly using Perry Plastics. I think to just have an incredibly robust range. We'll get into that in a little bit. I've also got a couple of metals for the command figures, and then I'm using Battle Flag, raising the standard, for the flags. I wasn't able to get a hold of the fine people at Freezy Water Flags again, who provided me all the flags I have for my Wars of the Roses forces. But that's okay. These ones look great too. But anyway, let's get into the models. As you can probably see, there's quite a few boxes of what I'm looking to do. I've got 2 boxes of Foot Knights here, each containing 36 models. They can be used for both the French and the English, or for any other kind of continental forces that I'd want to use. I got 2 boxes, the French infantry. They're predominantly crossbowmen and sort of just regular line troops, spears, swords, and shields, and that sort of thing. I got 4 boxes of cavalry that again are going to be used for both sides or both factions, and then can also be used both for heavy knights or men-at-arms, but also for lighter cavalry as well, which I'm certainly going to be using. And then lastly, 3 boxes of English Army or English infantry. These are heavily focused around longbowmen, as you'd expect, or war bowmen, as I learned they're actually more correctly called for the period. And then also some men-at-arms in those boxes as well. And then within, let's see, the medals that I bought here, these are basically just command figures that I'm going to be using for various kind of generals and leaders and things like that. I'm going to be honest, I can't remember who they all are on this side at least, but you get the idea. And then I also, what I realized, I actually have, this was a free figure, I believe from Footsore Miniatures, of the Black Prince or Edward of Woodstock. So I'm going to be putting him on the Force, in the Force 2. And then over for La Franche, I have probably one of my favorite historical characters of all time, which I don't really say. I don't really have strong opinions about a lot of this stuff. I think everyone's kind of flawed. No one's absolutely good or absolutely bad for the most part. But I had to have Joan of Arc. So she's going to be leading the French forces. Once I get them to the sides where it makes sense that a general of that caliber or that scale is going to be in the battle. And then, as I've mentioned before, also got these flags. I've briefly taken them out of the sheet. It's basically just a regular A4 piece of paper with a series of French flags on them, and then same thing for the English. But I did get a few different ones for the English. Important to note, I think this one in particular. Oh no, I was thinking about this one. Specifically the English at Agincourt. I'm not planning on recreating any particular battle or just picking the forces that were at Agincourt. I think that would be a little bit lazy of me. I'd like to try and find the units that really resonate with me and ones that I just find interesting, or even, again, just ones I like the look of the flag for. Like, I think these ones are kind of cool. Yeah, excited to figure out a little bit more about these. I'm also, goes without saying, learning about the period as I go. I'd be remiss not to call out some of my favorite wargaming channels, particularly Medieval Wargamer, who's perennial inspiration for me for all of this stuff. And yeah, just really, really absorbing all of that information has been tremendously helpful. Anything more to say about the models? I think that's kind of it. I'll quickly take you over to the hobby table. You can see I got some of these started so you can see where I'm at with what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to talk about rules in just a moment, but this is going to be the starting force that I have for the English. So it's going to be, this is the generic English force for the period out of the Lion Rampant rulebook. And again, I'm not trying to be clever here, so I just thought I'd take the generic, or create the generic list that we'd have. So this is going to include 2 units of 12 longbows. I'm going to keep calling them longbows. I'm never going to get used to calling them warbows. So the two units of 12 longbowmen, and then 2 groups of 6 elite infantry. In this case, these are the men-at-arms for the English. As you can see, I've built them and sprayed them or primed them with Wraithbone from Games Workshop. Still my current favorite way to paint and model things. I even thought about considering how much metal the men-at-arms have on them. I did consider using black and then kind of spraying over them. But I've actually found, I'm multitasking here as I look for my paints for the metal contrast paint, for want of a better word, that I've been enjoying using. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So this is one of the Army Painter paints. I've always had just bad results, frankly. I think I've probably said this many times with Army Painter products, but they've turned it around with this new series of speed paints. I really do like them. And so they're going to be, these knights are going to be getting the broadsword silver treatment as I get them ready. And obviously they're going to have all their livery and surcoats over those. And I'm excited to see how quickly I can get these painted after churning through so many Napoleonic models lately that just take an inordinate amount of time. But I've also done, for what it's worth, I rarely add what I call like the little accessories and accoutrements to these things. Like you can see here, this guy, has like a little bundle of arrows on his belt and also a sheathed sword. I normally don't bother putting those things on. I thought I'd do it this time, just to like kit him out a little bit more. And then I'm using these fantastic sheets that the Perry plastic models come with. There's a bit of a guide and also, frankly, just a bit of a lesson in what all of the different kind of terminology. Look at that, houppelon, jupon, and tabard. As we're looking to add these things, I think that's going to be really interesting. And I really appreciate this little color guide that shows kind of like it says there, common colors for clothing and Nakatans for ordinary soldiers of the period. This is great. This is takes the guesswork out. I can just figure out where these paints go and then create different kind of combinations of them. I've got similar ones for the knights, and then another one here. I think this was for the, well, this one's for the English army as well. So is that a duplicate? No. Again, really, these are, you know, snapshots of information, but really, they really get to the point. I always enjoy reading these for any of the Perry plastic models. So that's everything I've got currently going on with the models. Oh, for the English, let's see if I can multitask here and hold up this box of French ones at the same time. Try and drop this. I just finished undercoating these just a little while ago. So this, by the same token, is the Lion Rampant army list for the French for the period. So you can probably see more models, and a good significant amount of them are mounted as well. So they have 2 units of 6 mounted knights or men-at-arms or elite cavalry, however you want to describe those. 1 unit of heavy cavalry, which by this time they're kind of considered light cavalry, but they're heavy in the rule set. A unit of 12 just regulars, and then a unit of 12 crossbows as well. And I forget if I said this before. If you're wondering why they're so outnumbered, it's because the longbowmen for the English are veterans, which is a not inconsiderable points cost. So again, I basically have both forces primed and ready to be painted. Don't worry, I won't be posting any videos of me playing with unpainted models. We haven't sunk that low yet. No, I'm kidding. But that's personal preference. But I wouldn't be doing that. And once I get them painted, I'll be getting them on the table. But with that all being said, can't play a game without some rules. So let's go take a look at the rules I'll be using. Okay, for me, it wouldn't be a project or a new project of the period without a little bit of fiction to go in there too. So I picked up Mr. Sharp himself, writing, or the writer of Sharp, Bernard Cornwell, who also wrote this Agincourt book. So I picked that up on eBay. That just came today. So that's bedside reading. That'll keep me inspired as we go. I did pick up Saga Age of Chivalry. Haven't got the dice yet, but I think I can proxy them because I know in this period they're just using 2 sets of dice and they're the same ones, just different colors. So this could be an option to use at smaller scales. So I might give that a good look. And then I like to build the forces up. So I think you can use, like I said, for Saga, a small amount of models. Lion Rampant, I think this is where I'm going to be spending most of my time because I love this rule set. But I'm going to be using this one quite a bit. And with the hope that once I get those forces done, I can build up to much bigger battles with Hail Caesar. And I cannot find anything about this online, but I'm absolutely certain I heard somewhere that Warlord are working on a supplement for the 100 Years' War. And I know if that comes out while I'm doing this project, that's going to seal the deal for me. I know I heard about that, and it seems to disappear. And I know there's a couple of other releases that Hail Caesar has been having lately, but I'd be excited. Sorry, I've got a summer cough going on, but I'm excited to hopefully get enough forces. I think with the things I've got here, I think it might be enough to create 3 battles aside, and then be able to have a proper big battle with them. So that's what I'm looking for the rules. Also, I don't have a book or the latest book at least. Use it digitally, but also Warhammer Ancient Battles. I'll be playing with that too. So that's what I plan on doing for the rules. And that is the core of where I'm at, with maybe one other surprise. Hold tight. Lastly, just to make this another unique project for me, I ordered a package from Sarissa Precision, the terrain company. And let me just give you a clue. or it's not just an ox cart. This is one giant, believe me, this is a ton of, barely hold it with one hand, a ton of laser cut wood. So let me unwrap this and show you what it's got. Hey, look, they gave me free candy too. Okay, those of you that are familiar with laser cut wood models or terrain are gonna know that you can practically smell this this shot. It smells like a bonfire now in the game room, but that's okay. Lots to unpack here. You can see, I mean, still this one model here has a whole bunch of sheets to it. But I took the plunge and I bought the Odium Castle complete table, complete terrain set, which includes the keep, as well as a whole bunch of other buildings, like this manor house, and a workshop, and a cart barn, or forge, or stable, and then all the various steps and walls and palisades that go around. I'll skip ahead of a couple of things here. These are all kind of gates. And then a couple of accessories as well, like the cart, like the well, and I think there's a, ooh, look at that. Ooh, I don't know what I'll do with that, but I'll find an old scout model and put in that now. So this is gonna be a beast once it's on the table. Thank goodness I got some more space now, because according to the Sarissa Precision website, when this is built, it's gonna be close to 3 feet by 2 feet in footprint that it's gonna take up. So it's definitely, I think, definitely on the larger side of terrain pieces that I've got. But I think it's gonna look so cool. And I'm very excited to build this. So it's definitely gonna be a driver, I think, to forge ahead and make those bigger battles and those bigger armies, because you can't really have a skirmish siege. I think you need some serious forces behind you to do that, unless we do some sort of narrative shenanigans or something like that with smaller forces. But I'm rambling now. But anyway, I'm excited to get this all put together. I think it's going to really kind of frame or be the centerpiece around which these forces are going to fight and battle and try to control the castle, which again, I'd love to do more reading and more history on as I look to do it. So that's everything I've got with the project. I am curious. I'm going to try and fit, and you can see here, these are the floors of the palisades. I want to be able to fit 4 models on there on a single base, much like I've got my Napoleonics base. I didn't want to put these models on single bases, so I'm hoping they'll fit on there. I think they will. There might be a little bit of an overlap, but they should be able to balance on there. And that's where we're at. So yeah, next steps, start painting, start building. But first I'm going to put all this away before I can close the box up, before I smell the whole house out like a burnt matchstick. Thanks for watching. I hope this has inspired some other people to see how I do. It certainly made me commit myself now to get this done. I was a little bit daunted by everything that I'm trying to do here, but I think it's going to be great, and I'm excited to get it built. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.